Assalamu alaikum. Hello and warm welcome to all of you. Dear students, today I am here with the part 8 of Geography chapter number 5, Industries. Friends, in part 7, we had discussed that iron and steel industry is often called backbone of modern industry. Even we had discussed important iron and steel center located in India. Today we are going to discuss the most important iron and steel center located at Jamshedpur in the state of Jharkhand in India. Before 1947, there was only one iron and steel plant in the country, Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited. It was privately owned. Before 1947 means before independence, there was only one iron and steel plant was located in India at Jamshedpur. Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited, TISCO. The plant was located at Jamshedpur, at present in the state of Jharkhand. TISCO was privately owned. All of you are familiar with the Tata brand in our country. So, TISCO was privately owned by Tata Group in India. After independence, the government took the initiative and set up several iron and steel plants. TISCO was started in 1907 at Sakchi, near the confluence of the rivers Suvarnareka and Kharkai in Jharkhand. After independence, Government of India set up many other iron and steel plants into different part of India. Tata Iron Steel Plant was started in the year 1907 at Sakchi, near the confluence of two rivers Suvarnareka and Kharkai in the state of Jharkhand. So, Tata Iron Steel Plant was started in 1907 at Sakchi. Later on, Sakchi was renamed as Jamshedpur. Geographically, Jamshedpur is the most conveniently situated iron and steel center in the country. Later on, Sakchi was renamed as Jamshedpur. Earlier, it was known as Sakchi, but name was changed and it is known as Jamshedpur. And geographically, Jamshedpur is the most convenient place for iron and steel center in the country. Sakchi was chosen to set up the steel plant for several reasons. Why Sakchi was chosen to set up iron and steel plant? So for that, many reasons were responsible. This place was only 32 kilometers away from Kalimati station on the Bengal-Nagpur railway line. Why Sakshi was chosen to set up the iron and steel plant? So one reason is that Sakshi was only 32 kilometers away from Kalimati station, railway station in Bengal-Nagpur railway line. Even it was close to the iron ore, coal and manganese deposit as well as to Kolkata, which provided a large market. Another reason is that it was close to iron ore mine, coal mine and even manganese deposit are very close to Sakshi. And the most important reason is also there, it was near to Kolkata, which provide large market for iron and steel industry. TISCO gets coal from Jaria coalfield and iron ore, limestone, dolomite, manganese from Orissa and Chhattisgarh. TISCO plant gets coal from Jaria coalfield, which is close to Jamshedpur. Even TISCO plant getting iron ore, limestone and dolomite and manganese from Orissa, nearby state Orissa and Chhattisgarh. The Kharkai and Sumarnarekha rivers ensure sufficient water supply. Government initiative provided adequate capital for its later development. Even two rivers, Kharkai and Sumarnarekha, provided sufficient water supply for TISCO iron and steel plant. So earlier we had discussed factor affecting the location of industry. So here raw material easily available from nearby places, sufficient water supply by two rivers, good market provided by nearby city Kolkata. So these are the reasons Sakshi was chosen to set up the iron and steel plant in 1907. Government also providing financial assistance for the further development of TISCO plant. In Jamshedpur, several other industrial plants were set up after TISCO. They produce chemical, locomotive parts, agriculture equipment, machinery, tin plate, cable and wire. In Jamshedpur, there are several industrial plants were also set up after the establishment of TISCO. These plants are producing different chemicals, locomotive parts, different parts of the vehicle, even producing agriculture equipment, machinery, tin plates, wire and cable. The development of the iron and steel industry opened the doors to rapid industrial development in India. Almost all the sectors of Indian industry depend heavily on the iron and steel industry for their basic infrastructure. Here you have to keep in mind the development of iron and steel industry opened the door for industrialization in our country, because iron and steel plants are providing basic infrastructure for variety of industry in our country. The Indian iron and steel industry consists of large integrated steel plant as well as mini steel mill. In our country, there are at least 10 large iron and steel plants are located, as well as there are some mini iron and steel plants are also there in our country. It also includes secondary producer, rolling mills, ancillary industries. These mini plants include secondary producer of iron and steel item, rolling mills, ancillary industries means assisting, supporting industry also. So it was the description of Tata Iron Steel Industry Limited. It is located at Jamshedpur in the state of Jharkhand. Now I would like to discuss another important iron and steel center of the world in the form of Pittsburgh. It is an important steel city of United States of America. The steel industry at Pittsburgh enjoy locational advantages. Pittsburgh is an important steel city in the country United States of America. The city enjoys several locational advantages for the setup of steel industry. Some of the raw materials such as coal is available locally, while the iron ore comes from the iron mine at Minnesota, about 1500 km from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh iron steel industry got raw material in the form of coal, from the nearby places. Coal is locally available for Pittsburgh iron and industry, while iron comes from the 1500 km from the city Pittsburgh. Between these mines and Pittsburgh is one of the world's best routes for shipping ore cheaply, the famous Great Lakes Waterway. Why iron and steel industry located in Pittsburgh? Because it has one of the world's best route for shipping iron ore cheaply, and the name of the route is the famous Great Lakes Waterway. Famous Great Lake Waterway provide suitable and best shipping facility for iron ore near to Pittsburgh. Trains carry the ore from Great Lakes to Pittsburgh area. Pittsburgh has very good facility of waterway as well as land route. So train carry the iron ore from the Great Lakes to Pittsburgh. Iron ore transported through waterway in the form of Great Lakes, and then after trains carrying the iron ore from Great Lakes to city Pittsburgh. The Ohio and Monongahela and Allegheny rivers provide adequate water supply. Even Ohio River, Monongahela River and Allegheny River provide sufficient water supply for iron and steel industry of Pittsburgh. Today, very few of the large steel mills are in Pittsburgh itself. They are located in the valleys of Monongahela and Allegheny rivers above Pittsburgh and along the Ohio River below it. Finished steel is transported to the market by both land and water routes. Nowadays, at present, very few large steel mills are located in Pittsburgh itself. These mills are located in the valleys of Monongahela and Allegheny River above the Pittsburgh and along the Ohio River below to Pittsburgh. They are using both land and water routes for the supply of finished product from these iron and steel industry. The Pittsburgh area has many factories other than steel mills. These use steel as their raw material to make many different products such as railroad equipment, heavy machinery and rails. In Pittsburgh, there are many other factories which are using steel as their raw material to produce railroad equipment, heavy machinery and rail. So dear students, you have to keep in mind two important iron and steel center in the form of Jamshedpur, and the second one Pittsburgh, located in United States of America. With this, I would like to conclude my today's lecture. Inshallah, we will meet very soon with a new topic of the same chapter. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Allah Hafiz.